Hey, how's it going, fellow Trojans and loyal vassals? It is I, the Overlord, here to show you a comparison slash review of the Revel Mini Robin Mask and the SH Figuarts Robin Mask. As you can plainly see, the two obvious differences being the size. This is only like about 3 inches. This is the 5-inch. He is based off the manga, and this one is based off the anime, and I genuinely prefer this color. And to a certain extent, this figure, like if Revoltech released a Robin Mask that was like to scale to this one, their own version, you know, just 5 inches, I would guarantee you that I prefer it way more than this one. This one, in terms of articulation, is way better because you can pull off more maneuverable because of the ball joints and this whole arm thing going on. But he looks cooler doing the poses, so you know. But he does have a somewhat of a gimmick, and which would explain if you look at the, bring him closer here. Well, you can tell that the shield on the Revel Mini Robin Mask is or not the shield, what am I saying? His chest plate is actually slightly bigger compared to the SH Figuarts Robin Mask. It's this one looks more slimmer, whereas he looks more bulkier. Like if you were to scale him, like you notice how his head on the Revel Mini Robin Mask compared to the rest of his body is smaller, whereas the SH Figuarts one is evens out everywhere. Like his head, everything, his proportions are okay, but I kind of like it the way this one's done, where they have the small head and the big body. So if you were to scale this Robin Mask to 5-inch, it would probably look, in my opinion, a little bit more, would I say, accurate to the manga. But then again, the manga is the only one, the version that I've read. I have not watched the anime. I've watched clips, but just so I can see the moves in action, like their special moves. But another thing to know, I didn't mention in the last Revel Mini thing, that actually not most, but every single one of the Revel Minis pretty much have the same musculature, same like, unlike the SH Figuarts where they have some variation in their musculature, all the Revel Minis have exactly the same kind of muscle definition. You know, the same deltoids, biceps, triceps, obliques, abdominals. And I want to say that this body is actually somewhat similar to Kinnikuman. The only difference is they actually have a shading, some slight amount of shading. Like here on his thigh, he has some shade. Can you see that? Yeah, he's got like, I don't know why, but Cheeto marks come to mind, like the color of Cheetos. I don't know why I said that. Forget I said that. But it's like the same thing, the same mold, but there is some slight heavier shading on this one. And his articulation is somewhat limited because of his chest plate. So if you saw my last one, my last Revel Mini of Kinnikuman Great and Suguru, they pretty much have the exact same articulation. But what I like about this one is he has his briefs is like one solid piece rather than Suguru's, which is separated into 2 separate pieces. You can see here. I don't know why they did it for Suguru, because it's not supposed to be like this. It's supposed to be one solid piece like this. The downside is when you're moving it like that, I don't know if you can kind of see like the plastic kind of like ripples, or is that the word? You can't really see it on Robin Mask, thankfully, but on Warsman it's very noticeable. That is something to take into account. But he can get, whoa, what is that? Whoa, what is that, a second layer? You will see in a second, but he can get quite a bit of range, but in terms of the shoulders, it's kind of limited. Like he can move it that far, but I don't know. This would be a big I guess bad thing about the figure, is his arms and his shoulders, in his shoulder area is limited because of the armor, but that is because he has a gimmick that he's got going on. Can we just mention how great this figure looks? probably more biased for me because I like the manga color better. You see he's got the flesh colored flesh. He's got the blue skin going on. He's got the... Oh, shit. Excuse me. He's got the sapphire armor going on. Blue armor, sapphire armor. And if I was in the business of customizing figures, I'd probably recolor this to look like this. See if you can... If I can trick your perception. It kind of looks like the same size. But yeah. He's got the steel armor. Now we'll show you the best part about this figure. Watch this. Well, I might as well do it on camera. You have to first remove his little faceplate. See that? Take that off. This is kind of a tricky part because you kind of have to spread open his arms. Clip. You see that? Whoa, what is that? What is going on? Well, you're about to witness probably the greatest thing about this figure. If I can... Let me do this off camera. Hold on. This part is always tricky because it kind of gets... Crap. Hold on. I got this. Whoa. No problem. Almost got it. And there you go. I removed the armor plated piece to reveal a very hideous looking Robin mask. Hold on. Get your mask back on. There you go. And as you can see, Robin mask is now no longer limited to the shield, and he looked cool with the armbands like that. See that? I kind of wish the Revoltech, the SH Figure Arts had this feature where you can take off his armor and reveal his pecs, and it would look cool like this. I mean, it's just, look at this. Every time I look at him, I wish he was a 5-inch figure. It's a damn crime shame that there's, I don't know. You can also remove his armbands, or what would you call it, braces? So you take these off. It's easy as 1, 2, 3, right there. Now what sucks is because they were molded to because there's like a gap in between where the hole is pegged. There's kind of like a, let's see if I can. See, because of that, there's kind of like a gap, a small gap there. It's not that noticeable, but when you compare it to like Suguru here, you see that? It's kind of like no gap, and then there is a gap. It's very small, but it doesn't bother me that much. This is probably my favorite part of the figure, that you can take off its armor plate. You can also, if you wanted to, you can also take off his boots. They're actually they're actually a separate piece here, but it really wouldn't make much sense to just have his feet and his ankles silver, so I keep those on. But yeah, now as you can see, he's no longer limited. He's got ball joints here, or Revoltech joints, but they're actually ball joints. I think he can look farther up than Robin mask. You can see his traps looking good, shredded. Let me see if he can look farther up. Are they about the same? No, he can look slightly. Yeah, no, he looks farther up. So he can look farther up. Let me see. Whoa! That's this kind of thing is somewhat loose, his mask, unfortunately. There are a lot of minor things wrong with him, or off with him, or like that would probably turn you off against this figure. Like, here's another thing. Where is it? Can you see it? Or is it not on this arm? Wait, hold on. Where is it? It's you can kind of see it, but not really. It's kind of visible. See, that's two black marks. Those are actually from his armor piece because his armor tends to rub off, like the paint tends to rub off on his skin sometimes. As long as you have like a wet towel or something to rub it off, you can easily wipe it off. But if you don't get to it, it might stay permanently. Especially around his briefs, the silver paint tends to rub off on his thigh area right here sometimes. There's something to look out for. And the Revoltech, the Revel Mini has also a little bit more accessories than the SH Figure Arts one. The SH Figure Arts one came with 3 heads included with that one. The Uns, which they both have the same one. The before the Scar. Here's the Scar version. Well, here's the SH Figure Arts Scar version, and here's the Revel Mini Scar version. Whoa, my own hair. That was gross. Please ignore that. You got cat hair, my hair. See the Revel Mini Scar face mask, Scar mask, whatever. SH Figure Arts Scar mask. And here's the SH Figure Arts worried face. You can kind of see it. The worried face. The Revel Mini did not come with a worried face, but instead came with this. Now, if you've read the manga, then you know what this is. Look at that shit. He has a horn coming out of his mask. If you've read the Scramble for the Throne, you'd known. Which also, by the way, he also comes with bam. I believe it's called the Enola staff. It may just look like a spear thing, but it's actually a staff. Or there's supposed to be fire coming out. It didn't come with fire accessory, but it's like a kind of like an Olympic staff. I forget exactly. My mind is kind of like blurry on the exact origins, but I believe this was a Robin family heirloom, but someone stole it. And that someone happened to be Kiniku Mariposa, who was also one of the 5 candidates for the Scramble for the Throne. And he stole the Enola staff, and he was using it against Robin Mask in the first part of the tournament. But Robin Mask got it back, and then it fused with his mask, fused into it, and then he grew a horn. And with the horn, he used it to knock his opponent into the air by like doing a headbutt, going like. I forget how many times, but then I think he performed the Robin special, or he performed a Tower Bridge against the Rose. But my mind is hazy. But the fact that they included this is crazy. SH Figure Arts, where are you? Come on, look at this. Look at this. That's so cool. And also with hands, the SH Figure Arts ones only came with 6 pairs of hands, including the ones he had, the closed fist, let me see, the relaxed palmed fists, or relaxed palms, not fists, relaxed palms, the grasping palms, and that's about it. While as as the Revel Mini, he came with open palm expressive hands, because this is generally a Revoltech staple here. These type of hands, you can get like dynamic poses. His own version of clasping hands, which are like actually sideways, the hinges sideways, so you hit like that. He came with a better version of the clasping hands, or gripping. I should call these gripping hands. These look more like gripping hands. And finally, a pointing finger. So you can have him, much like Kinnikuman Great. You can have him, hold on. You can have him pointing to the heavens. Pointing to the heavens. So, also, I don't know if you saw this, but he has, unfortunately, with these, and as much as I love the Revel Mini line, they are not without their faults. As I mentioned, sometimes the paint can rub off, depending on the figure. Sometimes the paint can rub off. Sometimes the material on the briefs, on the Kinnikuman, can look weird when you like press against like that, and you see some ripple effect going on. which sucks. And sometimes the Revoltech joints or the ball sphere or the ball hinges, they tend to like not as work probably. Like mine, it came apart and I tried putting it back together and now there's like an unsightly like small gap. And it just feels, see that? It feels like I have to be extra careful when moving this elbow. So that's a few things to take into consideration. It could be a bad thing, but I always just forgive them because I really do like the Revel Mini line. There you go, pointing to the heavens. So yeah, he comes with a lot more pair of hands than the SH Figuarts Robin Mask, and you can take off his armor, which I think looks way cool. Look at him, it looks cooler, in my opinion. He's got the human, the fleshy colored skin, silver or steel plated armor. He's got I'm blue. If I was green, I would die. If I was green, I would die. That's not the lyrics, but you know what I'm saying. He's blue. Dabba dee dabba die. And he's got the sapphire armor. Also, he comes with the same thing, circular stand, just like the other rest of the Revel Mini, and this little thing, so you can peg it on there, or have him doing like a high kick and whatnot. But that is Robin Mask Revel Mini. The Revel Mini line is very underrated. Oh shit. Oh no, where did his mask go? Oh shit. Well, I'll just put on his unicorn looking. It kind of makes him look like a Rhyhorn. Rhyhorn. I forget its name. But yeah, this is the Revel Mini line. Robin Mask. Different color. Much smaller. If it was a 5-inch figure, I totally buy it and prefer it over this SH Figuarts Robin Mask. No offense. But you ain't got this. Oh, there you go. You ain't got what he got. Okay. Rob Mask, do you think this is a Revel Mini review is over? Oh, what? Tell me to be quiet? I'm sorry. Do you think this review is over? Alright, glad we can agree. Yeah, alright, see you later.